Hi, my name is Miss Lynette, and I am here to talk to you about the abacus. What is this crazy thing? This crazy thing is to help count. Let me check my audio. And yes, okay, cool. So, this crazy thing is my abacus. My abacus helps me count. What are we doing? We're actually going to be counting, but we're going to be learning how to add and subtract, multiply and divide on the abacus. It grows with us. But for now, we're going to talk about how to read the abacus. So one of the things to learn is how to read the abacus, and to read it, when we talk about how to read it, these are the beads. All the lower beads has a value of 1. So when we count, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. How do I know I'm using this column and not this column or that column? Because this column, this thing right here is my marker, and my marker is the one that tells me where the ones place is. So on the ones place, right? So if I do 1, right, and then I have 2, this is 3. 1, 2, 3. This is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now you ask, well, where's 5? Well, 5 is up here. Why is this interesting? It's interesting because now from the 5, we can go to 6. How do I know? Because this has a value of 5. Any top bead has a value of 5. And then 5, 6. So when we do 7, it's like this. 5, 6, 7. 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 9. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What does that mean? Well, just like, here we go. I should be, just like how we write. So we have 9. That's what 9 looks like on the, like, that's how we write 9, right? So pretend that this is the ones column. And now we need 10. Well, this is what 10 looks like. 10 is 1 and a 0. So what does that mean? So if I look at here, right, 1 and 0, just as we write it, to be 1 and 0, because this is my tens and my ones. So just like that, 1, 0, 10. And then we count 11, 12, 13, 14. The cool thing about Abacus is that it's easy for the children to count on. So we introduce the idea of counting on with the 5. So we do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What, before I continue on, what is counting on? Counting on, excuse me, is where the children, it's a kindergarten skill that they do not need to start from the number 1 to start counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can actually count from any place on the chart. I should print out the chart. So next time I'll print out the chart. Whereas they'll point to one number, let's say 39, right? The beauty about the abacus is that the kids will see 39, and when they need to know what the next number is, it will be 40. How do I know? Because it's 4 and then 0. And they will know how to count on. So 40, 41, 42, 43, 44. And it comes to them because abacus is a gentle reminder of the quantities of the item, of the number. Numbers are just symbols, just like letters. Letters like A, B, C, D, or K, L, M, N, O, P, right? We know them as letters. We know them as symbols. 1, 2, 3 are also symbols, but the difference is you cannot have a letter by itself, but you can have a number by itself. And so it's different. So back to here, when we start doing counting on and we introduce the kids, well, what is this number? They will say 52 because it's a 5 and a 2. What's after 52? And they start counting 53, 54, and then 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. And there you go. That would be helping the kids to count on. Um So this is how we count. And then after we do the tens, we have this number, right? What number is that? That number is 99. Well, what's after 99? 100. This is 100. 100. 100. Right? So we start it, having the abacus, it's great to start the children that are I my classes start at the age of 3. So I have students that are 3 or like has been with me since they started at 3, and we just learn how to count. Like I introduce them like what the 1 is, what 2 is, what 3 is, and then we go forward. I created a book. Here it is. I created a book. And that's what this is for. This is to help children to count on the abacus, but it also just count in general, right? So we're teaching them, I am teaching them, this book teaches them how to count and what the 0 looks like. And if you're in the very festive mood, I actually created a Christmas counting one. So this Christmas counting goes along the same as what the 1 is and what the 2 is and so forth. So we start talking about like how to draw the 5 and how to draw the 6. So let's take it to here. And this is what it looks like. So here is my book. This is available on Amazon. If you're interested, I can put a comment below and I'll send you the link. Or I can just add it, one of the two. Let's see. There we go. So the book starts off with what is an abacus, and it's a math tool that helps to count and calculate, right? So we're actually adding and subtracting on the abacus, but that's like later down into my book. The first thing we do is we talk about what does the abacus look like. So here is my real life abacus. And there we go. Here's my real life abacus, and I try to relate. Here's the picture of the abacus. These are like the structures that they have to look at. And then this is what it actually looks like. So here's the beam. This is the beam. This beam is what helps count the beads on the abacus. So when we count it, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are able to use in real abacus. This, what I have here, this colorful abacus, is my student abacus. And if you notice on my student abacus, there are dots, one here and one here. So these dots will help keep track where the ones is. So I could be on this side or I could be on this side. I usually do this because we can do like 1, this is like 11, this is 100, 11, this is 10, 11, 100, and 11, and then this one I'll do 3. 300, 300, 11, right. So anyways, that's what this is. So next, I do a find the abacus, and finding the abacus just means find what the abacus looks like, and how do you it's just to get the kids familiar what an abacus looks like as a picture. And then I have these things called big brain notes. These big brain notes explains how to read the abacus. So here it says understanding 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and here, so if I go, this is 1 and 2 of the bottom bead. So the bottom beads is like this, 1, 2. This is 2 on the abacus. And because that's 2 on the abacus, I show it as an abacus and then as a picture. And then we start counting we just start counting. So here is the number 0. And I have where I added the arrows so they can trace. So the students can trace and practice their number, right? Their motor skills, their fine motor skills. They can color the abacus and then they can trace the number word 0, Z-E-R-O. And then I have them trace the number, and then there's a path, and then trace another number. And then I have these dough ball 10 frames. These 10 frames is where we could take a Play-Doh. Here we go. So we take dough balls and we make little balls around, little balls. just like this, right? Make it into a little ball, and we put it on the 10 frame, like right here. This is the number 1. So here is the 10 frame for another number 1. We have 1, we write the number 1, we write the word 1, we trace the number, we follow the path, and then the 10 frame, and we put a dough ball here. So it adds manipulative, right? They understand in real life what it would be. The 10 frame is an introduction because I'm introducing the 10 frame because in kindergarten they will have it. And then here on the abacus, that's what 1 looks like. And then we have a maze. I like this maze. So this maze is to help understand the numbers, to do a number recognition and a abacus recognition and a word recognition, and then the quantity. So 0 is a little tricky because there's nothing in the box. But ideally, the next time they see the maze, they actually have to put extra dough balls around. But for this example, we just have to follow where the 0 is, and it will lead us to the path where it says finish. And then they have to try to find the path to get to here. For this specific example, it's the number 0. So they have to figure out which way to go. And then in the next one, I have color by number, where they can have to differentiate between the number, right? The number or the abacus. And then they just color it blue or red. And again, more tracing. So the tracing helps, get them to practice their skills. This one is another tracing one, and then number 3. And we go to number 4. Actually, we go all the way to number 20. But it's not just straight questions. It's a lot of activities. So again, I have my big brain note, and I break it up into understanding 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this one is counting forwards and tracing. And then here I added this is what I've done, right? So this is, I was explaining to my student, because I have a class. In my class, we do, today, when we did the class, we did the number 6. And so we counted the number of presents, and then we had the number 6, we wrote out the 6, and we colored just the active beads. And then from there, we would do the tracing, and then here are my dough balls, right? So again, I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that was the way to get them to be interactive and stuff. And then here was what is the number on the abacus, and then color in only the number that's on the abacus. So only color in 5 elves. So we counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because I wanted them to get them to understand that we just looking for what this number is. So that helps solidify what we're going to color. So we had 6 stockings, so only color in the 6 stockings. And then here is only color in the 1 snowball. We did 7. Okay, so then there's matching the bells, which is the same thing, right? They have to find the number. They have to count how many items are in the box, and then they have to find the number. And then after they find the number, they have to find the abacus. So hopefully it gets them to understand what's going on. And I like this one because this is the puzzle. So here, this is trying to figure out what is in between. This is 1, and there's something in between, and then this is 3. So they have to figure out what number is between 1 and 3. So they look, and it's 2. So they have to cut. So they're going to cut this. I have it where they cut, and then they cut the squares. And then from here, they take the square and they match it to the corresponding puzzle block. And then we start into adding. So here it says 1. So this is 1 bead, and then add another bead. My answer is 2. So I write the number 2 here. And then here, notice it says 1 thumb up. So every time we add a 1, we want to use our thumb. So here, this is 7. So I have 7 on the abacus, and I add 1 thumb up. Okay. And then I have match the stars to the Christmas tree. I have my stars, and then I have my abacus that's on the Christmas tree. They have to cut it out, cut out the stars, and then they have to paste it on the matching Christmas tree. And again, more adding. So we actually add to 9. Yep, we actually add to 9. There we go. So we actually add to 9, but it's mixed in with all the other activities that I have. So I have like matching and tracing and counting the items, and then we explain, and then here I go explaining what the number 9 is, and then we go forward. There's the big brain nodes, and then we're adding 2. We add 2, and then we subtract. So we add to 4. We add 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we subtract. -1, -2, -3, -4. And then that's it. This is my book, and I'm really excited for it. See here. Here is another number maze, and this number maze you have to figure out what the number 12. So it's a number 12 maze. So we start here with the number 12, and then we have to find where the next number 12 is. So here, this is what the abacus looks like on the 12. And then here is a blank spot. This blank spot means I need 12 dough balls. So I have to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I have 12 dough balls. That's the idea for the empty box. And then here it says 12. I don't know if you could read it, but it says 12 here. And I would trace the name, right? I would trace the number. And then here's another number. So you just follow the path until you go to the finish, but you have to find all the 12s that's in there. All right. So that is the maze. It's pretty cool. And then more subtraction. So subtracting and more activities. So this is full on like activities. There's not too many like just straight numbers, like just 1 + 1. It's, it's interesting. And again, here's another puzzle where they have to be, what is the number before? So this number here is 10. What number is before 10? Well, it's 9. So I have to find the number 9. I cut it out and I paste it onto my puzzle board. So that's what it is. I like puzzles. What else? I think that's about it. So that's my book. It is available on Amazon. Let me know if you have any questions, and happy to share. I really think it's exciting. It's different than all the other things that, that's Abacus based. Here's the next book. So let's say you're done with this book. Or you're done with this book. So these books are kind of the same. One goes to 20. This one only goes to 9. This one is a little bit more talking about like the relationships, what comes before, what comes after. This is for more like children that are like 3 years old. I'd say more like 3 years old. How to count backwards, how to count forwards. So after this would be my next book, which is +5 with Who. And this is where we start going into learning our math addition family. We have to learn this thing called 1 + 4 is equal to 5. Let me see if I could find the page for that. Yeah. So this is what we're talking about. 1 + 4 is equal to 5, or 2 + 3 is equal to 5, or 3 + 2. It's all the same, but it's just a different way of looking at it. And then why is this important? Because on the abacus, it becomes very important because that's how we use the top bead. This is when we take the math fact, the adding math family to the next level, and we actually utilize it and become stronger, and then kids actually understand why we are learning 1 + 4 is equal to 5. And so we keep going, and then that's what it is. So here is the example. Let's add 1. Well, let's do 4 because 4 is an easier concept. So here we have let's add 4, and what we need to do, the formula is we need to, the way I have it is a story. not kind of story, it's more of like an analogy. Like the 5, there's always going to be 5 cats in the tree. So this is the 5 cats. So we go to the tree, so we go to the 5, but if we want to add 4, we capture 4 cats, but 1 cat runs away. So that means 1 cat runs away. So here is the question. If it's 1 and then we have to add 4, well, we go to the cat tree, but 1 cat runs away. That means it gets taken away. 1 minus 1. So when 1, then our final answer is 5. So here is another question. We do 4. 4 plus 4. Well, there's not enough beads to go to the 4, so we have to go to the tree, right? The tree, and then we go to the tree, but 1 cat runs away. And that's how I made an analogy. And that's it. So after the abacus, preschool abacus math, or after the Christmas counting, abacus 0 to 20, you can go into adding plus 5. The next books I'm working on right now is taking away 5. And that's it. I hope this helps. It was great talking with you guys. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.